Last September, 10 years later video that I gotta do, and look at me go, I'm actually filming them on time. I'm proud of myself. Welcome back to 10 Years Later, the series where I talk about albums from the 2010s that were either impactful to me, impactful to music in general, very popular, or just worth revisiting 10 years later for good or bad reasons. And here's a pretty big one. As you could tell from the title, the album that we'll be talking about today is the 2011 J. Cole record, Cole World: The Sideline Story. This was the debut studio album from Dreamville founder and hip-hop titan J. Cole. Cole had first started blowing up a bit in 2007 with his debut mixtape The Come Up. The record became pretty popular enough that Cole was even able to sign to Jay-Z's Rock Nation label in 2009. He would release two further mixtapes, The Warm Up and Friday Night Lights, both of which helped increase his standing and bring a pretty big fan base to him. Thus, this album right here was pretty anticipated upon its release, understandably with a lot of the noise Cole was making. The album ended up releasing as a 16-track, 57-minute project with some high-profile features and even some prominent production work from No ID as well. Now, while I'm not the biggest J. Cole follower, I have enjoyed quite a bit of his music, so I was interested in going back to where it all started to see how Cole did on his debut. And for the most part, he did pretty good. The album starts slow, though there are a few moments at the beginning I enjoyed. Intro is just a very short minute-and-a-half long track where Cole raps a few bars over some light keys. It's a pretty nondescript intro that kicks into the first proper track, Dollar in a Dream 3, which I was surprised to learn sampled Darkness of the Unknown by Yoko Shimomura from the soundtrack of Kingdom Hearts 2. Maybe some of you guys have noticed the Kingdom Hearts shirt that I wear in quite a few of these videos, but I really love the series and I think it's pretty cool when artists sample music from the games. Especially because Kingdom Hearts music is pretty damn boss. Anyway, the implementation of the sample is good as it helps give the song a very celebratory vibe while Cole spits about his status, standing, and growth. I do like his flow and emotional energy on the song, although yes, that I let you feel like you the shit but boy you can't out fart me line is pretty bleh. I do still like the song though. Following the same flow of that moment, Interlude, not to be confused with his chart climbing hit of the same name from his latest album, The Off Season, is just a short moment where Cole tells a friend about the night that he got the text telling him he would be signed to Rock Nation. Again, it's a pretty nondescript moment that won't grab many repeat listens from me, but it is a nice moment that feels pretty genuine. It leads into Sideline Story, which is another one of the lighter songs on the record with pianos that make it feel a bit old school. I like Cole's fast flows on the song, and while the hook isn't the most exciting thing here, this is one of the few moments on the album where I really don't mind that the hook isn't the strongest. Those are solid tracks, but the album can often feel inconsistent and it has several cuts I have no desire to return to. Can't Get Enough has a much more summer-esque beat with a lot of bounce and some smooth guitars as well. Cole himself rides the beat excellently and I love a lot of his flows, even if some of his lyrics feel a bit dated. But the hook just feels so average and Trey Songz' presence is pretty damn forgettable. I saw that he was on the track and thought we were going to get some super smooth, nice vocals, but we didn't, and it just made the song a little less exciting. My feelings are similar towards Lights Please, which is actually a repackaged song that Cole originally included on his 2009 mixtape The Warm Up. It's a song where he compares a woman to the state of hip-hop. I like the boastful, vibrant production with the very pronounced beat led by some booming snare hits. And of course, Cole is flowing nicely on the song with some interesting lyrics. Like that part where he calls out deadbeat dads by saying, "Ain't it shameful how dudes blame girls for giving birth to a baby that took two to make." These moments are nice, though I definitely feel pretty indifferent to the chorus as well. I don't know, it just doesn't grab me and it doesn't feel enthusiastic or all that interesting. It doesn't kill the song, but it does hold it back quite a bit. Mr. Nice Watch is one of the lowlights on the album for me as well. A song named after an iconic catchphrase from the Jay-Z song A Million and One Questions, Rhyme No More. I don't mind the callback, but this beat is just a bit too loud for my liking. It's very electronic and reverby, and I'm just not all that crazy about it. Cole himself shows his rap talents, but he drops yet another indifferent chorus and pretty much leaves Jay-Z to lift the song. And yes, Hove does an awesome job, but it's just not enough to save the track for me. In the Morning is another repackaged song as it originally appeared on Cole's 2010 Friday Night Lights mixtape. I still find it weird that Cole repackaged two mixtape songs on the record, but he probably knows something I don't. Anyway, this is a more synthy, sex-driven track with a beat driven by what sounds like a wood pipe. Cole takes on a more relaxed flow here, which does work for the vibe of the song, but like I said, I wish I was more enthusiastic about the hook. I say it all the time, repetition on a chorus is something that can go one of two ways. It can either be stupidly catchy or horribly undercooked, and this one feels closer to the latter. Drake also appears to drop a more downbeat verse, and while it's not bad, did he record this with a cold or something? It sounds like he just really needs to cough or clear his throat out. Voice cracking can be good on a song if it adds to the emotion of it, but here it just sounds like he has a frog in his throat. Never Told features some beautiful, luscious production from No ID as J. Cole raps about the heartbreak that comes from men cheating on women. I like a lot of the darker lyricism on the song and how J. Cole circles it back to his father cheating, but I'm not sure how I feel about his flow on the song. It's got something of a start-stop feel to it that just doesn't grab me. There are a lot of good things going on, but that piece of the song makes it hard for me to want to return to. There are definitely some good moments though. Cole World sticks to that high-powered, high-energy electronic feel of Mr. Nice Watch, but for some reason I like this one a bit more. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the fact that Cole rides the beat very well. Maybe it's the fact that the hook is a lot better, but I think the elements blend together a lot more harmoniously on this cut. I can see why Cole named the album after this track and Sideline Story. Both of them are really good. Lost One sticks into a more emotional direction with Cole rapping about a couple who just found out they're expecting a child. It's very downbeat, and Cole's three verses each come from a different perspective. The first verse is from the perspective of the man in the relationship, the second is the perspective of the woman, and the third is from the perspective of a neutral third party. There's a number of complex layers to the lyricism, largely because they deal with a very difficult topic, but I think Cole does a good job with it and makes a song that is easily a standout. Nobody's Perfect is a smooth R&B lace jam where Cole slows it down a bit on his first verse. Many consider that verse one of Cole's bests, and I do enjoy a lot of his rhyme schemes on it. The beat is very mellow and chill, by far one of my favorite instrumentals on the album, and the song is rounded out perfectly by the beautiful Missy Elliott vocals on the hook. I see why this one got picked as a single. It's damn good. Many of the album's best moments also come near the tail end. Rise and Shine has one of the most grandiose beats on the entire project, with vibrant horns, marching band-esque snares, and a very well implemented sample of Arise Shine by Greg Dykes and the Synanon Choir. Cole's lyrics are very confident, and he matches that with his flows, which are hard-hitting and fantastic. I also enjoy the sung chorus as well. This is a track that really showed what Cole could be capable of at his best, and it's still excellent. God's Gift has a beat that is a lot more booming as Cole raps about how much higher he's gone in the industry, from once camping outside of Rock Nation hoping for Jay-Z to hear his CD to ending up on the Blueprint 3. I think Cole's performance here is a huge highlight. I love the impassioned rapping and his hard tone on his voice as he flows on the track, and I think that tone and the beat match each other nicely. The implementation of guitars on the last chorus is also a very nice touch too. Breakdown is much more reflective, with Cole discussing things like him growing up without a father and how it impacted him and his mom. The beat is very soulful but still very big and confident, and while Cole is flowing pretty fast and confidently as well, the song does carry an emotional vibe to it thanks to Cole's vocal tone feeling like his voice is breaking. It's an impassioned cut that makes for an easy high on the album. The record then closes with the big single Workout, which was one of Cole's first huge commercial singles, even though it seemed to be a song that his core fans were not crazy about, nor was Nas apparently. Honestly, I do enjoy the song quite a bit. There's a pleasantly old school vibe to it, plenty of bounce to the beat and Cole's flow, and I love the implementation of Kanye West's The New Workout Plan. Cole dominates his song and also crafts one of his catchiest hooks as well. I'm glad he ended off the album with this. It's a very good, very fun track. Overall, J. Cole's debut album was definitely a bit inconsistent and had its share of flaws, but all in all, it was a pretty good time. What really lifted this thing was that the high points were extremely high. At his best, Cole proved to be someone who could spit some mean flows, spit some pretty interesting lyrics, and really shine when given the right production to work with. And that's seen quite a bit on this album. The highs are extremely good, and they showcase a lot of the hunger and potential that J. Cole had back when this record released. Of course, it is definitely a bit flawed. Not every single beat on the album goes off, and I'd honestly say quite a few of the hooks can be extremely sour, especially near the beginning of the record. And while the album itself doesn't feel overly long, I do wonder if some of the interludes could have been cut, and if maybe a few tracks could have gone back to the drawing board a bit, especially given that a few of the kind of forgettable cuts were repackaged from older mixtapes. As it is though, this was a very solid debut from an artist who would go on to be one of the biggest voices in modern hip-hop, and I think he's definitely shown plenty of development since this record. Even with that development, it's worth going back to this just to see where it all started, and just to hear some of the fantastic high points that Cole was able to come through with. Back in 2011, even as someone who was slowly getting into hip-hop, I don't know if I was going to enjoy this album all that much. Listening to it now, as inconsistent as it was still an enjoyable record. If I had to put it on my scale, it would probably get a good rating from me. Far from J. Cole's best, but the potential was definitely there and he showed it a very good deal. But that's just my opinion on this album. What did you guys think about it? Did you listen to it back in 2011? Do you still listen to it now? Did you love it back then? Hate it back then? Do you still love it now? Do you still hate it now? Are you just completely indifferent towards it? Whatever your thoughts and experiences are, leave them down in the comments below. Let's keep this civil and have some fun as we like to do. If you guys want to hit like and subscribe and support some of my other ventures that I have linked in the description, thank you. If not, it's no big deal. I totally understand. Moving right along into October, the next 10 Years Later video that I'm going to be doing is going to be on Evanescence's self-titled 2011 album. The rest of 2011 is going to be very busy for these 10 Years Later videos, so expect to see a lot of them. I'll try to get them out as fast as I can, provided of course my body actually decides to hold up and I could be healthy enough to do so. So stay tuned for those, but until next time, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed and I will see you in the next video. Peace.